In this one, I'll be talking about some of the characters who attended this conference, how to change the world, and as well, I'll be talking about those involved in Evolve Blockchain once again, which is a direct democracy app that I've covered in prior videos. And I'll be talking about Nutraceuticals and their relationship to nanotechnology and the token-based economy as well as geofencing. So you can see here that we are the change is what is hosting that, which is a Kellyanne Wolf initiative, and there are other members which I'll get to. And then you could see this website Elections Pro, which has news and information on local MPs and MPPs, and as well Hands of Our Kids, which tends to lead the 1 million man march, essentially. So, and here is a picture from the Canadian Democratic Defense Association and showing some of the members who are involved. So we have Richie Marquis, who is one of the people involved in the blockchain app, Evolve Blockchain, as well as Andrew McPherson. And I've talked about some of the others in prior videos, which I'll be leaving in the description. And of course, we have Andrew McPherson over here. So now to move forward here, this is the website for Elections Pro, and then we have We Are the Change over here, and essentially here, this is promoting direct democracy and, of course, the blockchain app. It says direct democracy facilitated by blockchain technology can revolutionize the healthcare industry by empowering healthcare workers to have full authority over policies. And then it also mentions economic processes as well, trying to market the blockchain. And as well, of course, the conference, which happened on July 6th and 7th, is advertised here. The mission, it says, together we the people achieve more than any single person could ever do. If you say so, our mission is to provide Canada with a new political option that empowers citizens through direct democracy. We believe in giving individuals a voice in government decisions, allowing for greater transparency, accountability, and representation. By advocating for direct democracy, we strive to create a more inclusive and responsive political system that truly reflects the will of the people. Join us in transforming Canadian politics and building a more participatory democracy for all. Yeah, so all in all, this blockchain voting technology will be used to enhance security and ensure the integrity of the voting process. Sounds like a load of BS right there. Essentially, the blockchain is a ledger-based system and is the platform for both digital ID and the token-based economy. And while Richie Marquis in the conference said that they will be using the same technology against the people that want to create central bank digital currencies, that in and of itself is really just a glorified joke, because all he's doing is building the same platform for them, and even if it runs on a different server, as Damian Spalding covers the servers, I've also mentioned him in prior videos and will be covering him. The fact of the matter is that they're just installing the system that will be used for the biodigital convergence and for the smart agenda in and of itself. And the blockchain is integral to making that happen. So, which we will be looking at an article later called Transhuman Crypto Cloud Mines from Melanie Swan. And of course, more marketing of direct democracy allows for greater transparency and accountability in the decision-making process of government. In a direct democratic system, decisions are made by the citizens themselves through voting on issues and policies. This means that elected officials are required to act in accordance with the will of the people, ensuring they remain limited to their obligations under the law. Through direct democracy, citizens have the power to hold their government accountable for their actions and decisions. If government officials exceed their authority or act unlawfully, citizens can challenge these decisions through the democratic process, such as through referendums, recall elections, or initiatives. So direct democracy in and of itself, what makes it different from a representative democracy is the fact that the people are directly voting on policies, calling elections, and that sort of a thing. However, the way it's marketed is that, governing policies and self-governance will be in the palm of your hand, as they say. But the reality is, like I said, you're just actually building the very same system for the people that they claim to be against, which they really actually are all for, if you think about it. And governments all around the world, it is their agenda to go digital anyway. So even if people were knocked out of power, or if they still had their figurehead positions, then they were obliged to follow something on the blockchain, something that has been voted for through this app. There's no guarantees that will grant success, and also the fact is that the blockchain system is not going to just be meant for voting and political issues, but will also be playing a role in what is called the token-based economy. It also goes by the next digital economy, among several other names, which we will be discussing later on in this video. So, moving forward, the mission or vision, whatever, it says here that our mission is to provide Canada with a new political option that empowers citizens. Through direct democracy, we believe in giving individuals a voice in government decisions, allowing for greater transparency, accountability, and representation. Blah, 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 blah. You've heard it all already, so I don't really got to repeat myself and go through all of this nonsense here, but this link will be in the description for people to take a read and take a gander themselves if they like. And like I said as well, I'll be leaving links in the description of prior videos where I've talked about evolved blockchain. So it says here, the future of finance and data is here. Blockchain technology revolutionizes how we interact with digital assets. Our platform empowers you to experience secure, transparent, and efficient transactions. Join the future, explore the possibilities of blockchain today. And then it also says the evolution is here. Become a part of the revolutionary movement, evolve communities and network of passionate individuals, shaping the future of finance, connect, learn, and grow with fellow crypto enthusiasts. And Evolve Blockchain is designed with developers in mind. Our highly scalable platform empowers you to create innovative D-apps and smart contracts with ease. Experience the speed, security, and reliability you need to bring groundbreaking ideas to life. Join the Evolve ecosystem and build the future of blockchain technology. Prioritizes the highest state of security for your transactions. They utilize what they call state-of-the-art private servers, and robust infrastructure safeguards your assets and ensures the smooth operation of Evolve Blockchain. And so, of course, then you can add EVO tokens to your wallet as it's marketing here. And going to move forward with the links here. Evonomics is the next section, and it says step into the heart of our evolutionary blockchain with Evonomics, a fusion of innovative principles designed to revolutionize the crypto landscape. Anchored by a reserve of physical gold, our deflationary model ensures the appreciation of Evo coins over time while reflections from transactions amplify community wealth. Leveraging decentralized servers, we invite everyone to partake in securing and sustaining the network, fostering inclusivity and resilience. Join us as we reward and unite the global community behind the evolution of blockchain technology. Wow, worded like a professional globalist, that's for sure. And also, when it comes down to what they call physical gold or tangible assets, globalists have tried to market different aspects of the blockchain in this regard with assets like gold and silver, such as those that believe in the Nasara, Jasara type of a thing. And the fact is that they're really just referring to NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which is really just a picture of said thing. And really, if you factor this into how I was mentioning the token-based economy or next digital economy, what happens really is that if you combine this idea with CRISPR technology, which is DNA altering technology, what happens is a DNA strand becomes the NFT and becomes your wallet, and there is a world that is desired to be created where you have limited tasks available, and people are all competing for different tasks in their availability, and when they complete said tasks, they get rewarded tokens, which they can use for food, water, shelter, etc. So ultimately, I don't want to be living in a world with a digitalized social credit system revolving around the blockchain and CRISPR NFTs, essentially. So at the core of our evolutionary blockchain lies a revolutionary concept. Each Evo coin is backed by a fractional reserve of physical gold, if you say so. Yeah, so once again, I've already explained what NFTs are, so I'm going to save reading that. Evolved Blockchain introduces our deflationary mechanism designed to enhance the value proposition of Evo coins and reward our community of holders. With every transaction conducted on our platform, a portion of transaction fees is allocated to burning or removing Evo coins from circulation. A strategy that serves to decrease the total supply over time. The deflationary model holds immense value for Evo coin holders as the supply of Evo coin diminishes through burning. The scarcity of the remaining coins increases. At Evolve Blockchain, we believe in empowering our community of Evo coin holders by offering a unique and rewarding experience through our reflections mechanism. With every transaction conducted on our platform, a portion of the transaction fees is distributed proportionally to all Evo coin holders, a concept that rewards participation and fosters a sense of community ownership. At Evolve Blockchain, security is paramount, and we spare no effort in ensuring the integrity and resilience of our platform. And it mentions state-of-the-art decentralized private servers into the infrastructure of blockchain, and we'll talk a little bit about those servers, I guess. dSphere is something that Damien Spalding has been working on for some time, which, once again, we will get to that. And now at the About Us section here, it says that by democratizing access and fostering a culture of transparency and community-led solutions, we empower individuals and businesses globally to drive meaningful change and create a more inclusive, prosperous future. So this is the team here on this website. We have this is a typo. You have Matthew Darrow, and then you have Damien Spalding and Richie Marquis. So I'm going to read about Damien Spalding over here of Spalding, Canada, which is like the school where they teach music and I believe theater as well, School of the Arts, as it says. After 20 plus years of teaching excellence in Central Ontario, Damien Spalding's teaching centers have been repeatedly awarded as best in the region, not only by the community, but also by high-profile industry educators as well. Consumer Choice Awards has now awarded Spalding School of the Arts to be the top school in the region for 7 years consecutively and counting. Top Choice Awards has awarded the same every time they ran the category, and as students across the region and world make their strong and public statements of success. Damien counts himself proud to have played a role in every story. Aside from being a well-celebrated educator across music, drama production, and many other artistic disciplines, he's also a music producer that balances the continually growing success of his well-respected record label and production company, Spalding Canada. And through Spalding Canada, Damien has been working with a series of Walt Disney and other heavy producers south of the border to create an opportunity for Canadians to experience the same levels of international success as our counterparts south of the border, whether that be in music, TV, movies, or other verticals. In his time, Damien has accumulated a small list of personal awards, privately and corporately. But Damien has also directly trained a number of award-winning producers and songwriters over the last number of years. He manages education facilities in Collingwood, Barrie, and Midland, Ontario, and looks forward to continuing to serve the region through providing education and production experiences in the areas of music, photography, videography, and a plethora of other areas. He also succeeds in the area of software development as a systems designer and programmer, as well as excelling in the areas of business consulting and mentoring for entrepreneurs locally and worldwide. He also leverages his medical education when helping others find breakthroughs with physical, mental, and emotional challenges. And there are the ways of reaching Damien if you so desire, and his websites. So Richie Marquis is up next on the list here. So with Richie Marquis, he has been, besides Evolve Blockchain, he is president at United Freedom Fund, and he's the founder of Freedom Fund Token, which I have gone over in prior videos, but once again, I'll just go over these very briefly here. So it includes this Matthew Garrow guy, once again, Richie Marquis. This is United Freedom Convoy NFT. And then, of course, you have this Michael Machado. And the partners include Canadian Frontline Nurses, CARES, Canadian version of theirs. And, of course, the advisors include this Audrey Santo Domingo, the founder of Quantum 11, which is like an investment firm that also deals with Web3 technologies, from my understanding. Kristen Nagel, one of the founders of Canadian Frontline Nurses. This guy, Ernest Sr. And then, as well, you are going to have Dave Steenberg, Bridget Belton, and then Max Daigle. I shouldn't say Dangle. That's another typo. I guess these guys are slacking. And then, so Freedom Fund Token, I accidentally just closed the link, but it includes Richie Marquis, Matthew Garrow, and Audrey Santo Domingo, and people can watch prior videos to see that, as I accidentally closed the link. So then we have the Toronto Collision Conference, which Richie Marquis ended up attending, and also Damien Spalding attended as well. So what an incredible experience at the Toronto Collision Conference. I'll go over what that is. The Evolve Blockchain team had an amazing time connecting with brilliant minds and innovative businesses from around the world. It was a fantastic opportunity to showcase our cutting-edge technology and the unique benefits of our Evo coins, backed by, they claim, physical gold. And they're thrilled to engage with crypto enthusiasts, blockchain developers, asset collectors, sharing insights about the platform, low transaction fees, and the deflationary model, and all this. And also they give of course, a thank you, or rather just kissing ass to globalists is the way I look at that. And so this is the summit in particular, and it was founded in 2009 in Dublin, which is in Ireland, by Paddy Cosgrave. It started as a 150-person tech conference in October 2009, and since 2009, Web Summit has gathered together over a million business people from around the world. Its flagship event is Web Summit in Lisbon, which takes place every November. And during the year, Web Summit now hosts events around the world, including Web Summit Rio in South America, Web Summit Qatar in the Middle East, Collision, and Web Summit Vancouver in North America, and Rise in Asia. So some of the different people that have attended these events include Elon Musk, Ryan Reynolds, CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, President of the European Commission, First Lady of Ukraine, the co-founder of Netflix here, Reed Hastings, Queen Rania Al Abdullah of Jordan, Stephen Hawking, Bono from U2, Margaret Atwood, and the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, and this person, Melanie Perkins, and some of the partners from the 2024 events include Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Oracle, PwC, KPMG, TikTok, Huawei, JP Morgan, Nestle, IBM, American Express. So should give you an idea of the kinds of people that attend these things. And of course, some of the Collision partners include Invest Brampton, Amazon Web Services, Government of Ontario, KPMG, Dell Technologies, Interact, Government of Quebec, IBM, DMZ, City of Toronto, Invest Rio, Polish IT, ICT program, EY Canada, York Region, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of foreign partners as well as domestic ones. So, and then of course here it just shows some of the same guests that I already went over very briefly. So this is Damien Spalding's old YouTube channel here, and he ends up talking about D-Sphere and mentions that he would be attending the Collision conference, like I was saying, and would want to see people there, and that's where Richie Markey ended up attending as well. And he mentions working with Evolve, which has crypto based off of commodities. Damien says he would be sharing his D-Sphere technology, where he claims he will be able to send emails and not be deplatformed. He also mentions the new Tips Media YouTube-like technology, where you can have your own decentralized videos, just like this one touring the world without risk of being deplatformed. You can say what you like, as he says. So, yeah, once again, it's just more pushing of Web3 technologies, and in particular, Damien is the guy that works on the servers, and the server in and of itself for this. So, and there's a video where he describes D-Sphere here. And of course, this particular conference, right, I watched a little bit of these guys talk, Richie Markey and Damien Spalding here. And Richie tries to say that you can use Web3 technology like blockchain against those who want to bring out CBDCs, like I said, but all in all, he's just building their platform for them, is all he's doing. And even if it runs on a different server, it's still using the same technology and going hand in hand with their agenda, because the blockchain is what needs to work with smart infrastructure and to create a token-based economy and that sort of a thing. He mentions that it eliminates corruption and is a platform for voting, Well, it's really just a giant ledger system if you think about it. So all activity is recorded, and when people talk about something decentralized, it's really just an illusion that they're spouting. So the goal is essentially actually to digitalize government, voting, and banking and streamline all those together. And like I said, it's a platform for a task-based economy, token economy, or next digital economy, however, whatever term you want to use. Richie asks Damien what he thinks of the servers on Evolve blockchain, and Damien says that they're competing with Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure cloud servers, and said that this platform has been in the works for over 20 years. Yeah, you're competing with Amazon Web Services and then Microsoft Azure cloud servers, yet you're attending conferences with those same people. And I understand that, yes, businesses are always competing with each other, but at the same time, they're also streamlining technology together as well. Whether they're working directly together or it appears like they're working against each other, all I gotta say to that is order out of chaos, or ordo ab cow, as they would say. So, Jody Ledgerwood and Chris Vleck on the Fringe Majority. It's a ridiculous outlet. Jody mentions that Damian Spalding helped us in 2020 and 2021 with the rallies that we hosted. I'm not sure if she's just referring to Chris Vleck and herself, or if she's referring to different groups of people, or what exactly, but Damian Spalding helped organize rallies in 2020 and 2021. And at one point, there's a message scrolling at the bottom of the video that reads, "BRICS is the new gold-backed system that is set to displace the U.S. dollar, and Canada sold the last of its gold in 2016. Invest in gold and silver with New World precious metals." Yeah, okay, so the BRICS nations, BRICS, founded in June 16th, 2009. It's an acronym that refers to Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they are as well working toward the sustainable development agenda, just as much like Canada and the US. So it's all just really, once again, another illusion. And I accidentally closed the other link, but I'll just read. The increasing influence of BRICS is reflected not just in their combined economic might, but also in the collaborative initiatives it gives rise to, including the BRICS Business Council and the New Development Bank, which powers infrastructure and sustainable development projects. So there you go. And now one of the other guests that attended that conference, Gene Belfour. This is his Substack, but first I'm just going to go over just a very little bit of his resume. So this is a picture of him, and he is a direct democracy advocate, just very much like the people running Evolve Blockchain. He is a former member of the Libertarian Party of Canada, and also has been involved in the PPC as well, People's Party of Canada, of Maxime Bernier. Excuse me. And then we can see he studied at University of Waterloo and Mises Institute, which I believe teaches about economics and politics and that kind of a thing. So replace electoral democracy with digital direct democracy. Electoral democracy is failing miserably. It may have been the best way to engage citizens in public affairs in the 20th century, but it should follow the destiny of the 8-track cassette. Yeah, whatever you say. So just going along, just going with the times, as they say, right? You know, and all he's doing once again is just fulfilling the interest of globalists by moving with the times, so to speak, as they would say, and bringing in a Web3 based platform for smart infrastructure and for changing the way life really works for people, all in all, into a social credit system. And while you know, he is modeling it after the Swiss system of direct democracy, Canada is a much larger country. Well, it's really a corporation, but much larger landmass than Switzerland. And in order to actually have, direct democracy come into play with something as big as Canada, they would have to use the blockchain for that. So really, this is just an excuse to streamline that New World Order scenario, if you will. And he says electoral democracy has become little more than political theater acted out on a mass media stage. It has survived long past its before date. Few citizens are buying it for this reason. Well, as far as I'm concerned, political theater has really been a thing since at least ancient Rome and probably even before that. So each election is a sham, tax-funded event lavishly and expertly choreographed, and declining voter interest, he says, so there's not a whole lot of voters, and also bully politics prevails needlessly. Every election produces a majority rule outcome. I'll never forget when Kathleen Wynne, Ontario Liberal leader, won her election to form a majority government. Only 20% of eligible voters chose her, and her slate of Liberal candidates, 80% did not. What kind of majority representation is that? Yeah, once again, politics is a joke, so people are selected, not elected anyway, and then, of course, I don't know if we still have those Dominion voting machines here, but once again, all you're doing is just participating in something that's fixed anyway. So these people don't have your best interests in mind, and they're generally, like I said, they're all selected, not elected, whether that's who somebody's related to or fraternal ties or whatever is planned next. Pretty much that's just the way things go, and really all of the parties in Canada, from NDP, Liberal, Conservative, Green, Bloc Québécois, are all on board the same agenda. They all follow sustainable development to a T anyway, and carry out the whim of the standardization organizations, which bring in the biodigital convergence through technologies and enforcing their regulations and that sort of a thing. And of course, he says in the wrong hands, tech can produce harmful outcomes. Yet we also know that it has been used in endless ways to make our lives better, if you say so. In modern digital commerce, no one questions the usefulness, efficiency, and reliability of online banking today. Whether you purchase goods or services online or in person at a retail outlet, you can count on debit or credit transactions to access your digital money accounts to make payments securely and instantly. Yeah, so everything is all about convenience, and as far as I'm concerned, since social media has been around, it's really just done nothing more than depersonalize people, taking away really people's personality and social skills, where oftentimes people are having a conversation with you and looking down at their device or whatever it is anyway. So it's not like these outlets and designs have really benefited us, other than, being able to broadcast information and such for people. But really, social media is just a creation of your digital twin anyway, is what it essentially is. And even, unfortunately, by making this video, I'm also assisting in the creation of that digital twin. And to talk about tech being in the right hands, so to speak, well, some things in and of itself, you can't really compare like the blockchain to, like, say, a firearm, right? Because we can say that people hurt people, not guns hurt people, but the reality is that the blockchain is actually just a ledger system where everything is recorded, and there is no sense of privacy there whatsoever. So really, these systems are not built for us in and of themselves anyway, and these organizations that bring these things out, from the standardization organizations to big tech and corporations and that kind of a thing. You really don't move up the ladder unless you play ball anyway, which revolves around destroying your conscience, and any principles that you might have. So it's not really tech being in the right hands. It's about nefarious people with nefarious goals using tech, and you can't really become parts of these organizations without selling your soul in some matter, shape, or form. So, and then of course, technology innovators will do what they have always done: solve problems using technology. Takes only little imagination, some capital, and a lot of political will to make advantages of digital direct democracy a reality, right? Whatever. And of course, the network architecture proposed on the digital direct democracy ebook will ensure that no carbon taxes would be remitted on any payment transactions. What about carbon credits, though? See, while people are saying X the tax or no carbon tax, which are words of Pierre Poilievre of the Conservatives in Canada, by the way, what about social credit systems revolving around tokens for carbon scores? That's not something that's addressed at all. So just this carbon tax BS, which is really just a distraction in and of itself. And then, of course, I mentioned true accountability in government. If digital direct banking can exist, so can digital direct democracy. So once again, you're literally just streamlining politics and voting with a banking system is what you're doing. And then eventually governments even go digital as well. So it's all just streamlining things for globalists and making various various tools exist in one place is what it essentially is. It's just about streamlining things together and amalgamating them. And now this article is Transhuman Crypto Cloud Mines from Melanie Swan of the Blockchain Institute. Considering the mutual benefits of blockchain and transhumanism, this essay proposes crypto cloud mines as a safe mechanism by which the human mind might transcend its unitary limitations by permissioning partial resources to join a multi-party mind comprised of human and machine minds in a cloud-based environment. Cloud minds could have diverse purposes, including problem solving, addressing future work issues with massive smart contracts, learning, experience, exploration, innovation, artistic expression, and other personal development activities. Crypto cloud mines could be multi-currency, operating with payment, remuneration, security, and especially ideas as the denominations of measure. For thriving in the future, mind node peers could enter yes and payment channels with one another for collaborative idea development. On the blockchain, with this transhuman idea, the people become the nodes on the blockchain. For surviving the future, good player behavior could be game theoretically enforced with the simultaneous privacy, transparency, property of blockchains, together with the immutable peer-confirmed consensus algorithm and audit log checks and balances system. Really fancy way of saying social credit system. Overall, blockchains might serve as an institutional technology that is the basis for treaties and progress in a multi-species society of human, algorithm, and machine, guiding the way to positive transhuman futures. Yeah, whatever. This essay understands transhumanism to be that the human race can evolve beyond its current physical and mental limitations, especially by means of science and technology. Kurzweil's view is that the transhuman future will be a convergence of artificial intelligence, machines, and intelligence augmentation, which are humans. So it's the biodigital convergence is what it is, as Policy Horizons would use the term. This is also his answer to the friendly AI question, namely that unfriendly AI will not take over the world or make paper clips in strawberry fields, because humans and AI will become the same thing. Reformulating Kurzweil's convergence argument, at least the immediate future is more likely to be one of a multi-species society with various permutations of human, algorithm, and machine. So, the transhuman problem context is that humanity is in the process of evolving into a more intense integration of humans and technology, and safeguards are required for the productive progression of this trend. So far, the multi-species society can be seen most prominently in markets and in the workplace. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about geofencing. There's been a lot of talk about geofencing and advertisements glorifying its benefits. I thought I'd write this post to educate what geofencing is from a programmer's perspective and someone that has developed and implemented it in games many times, along with its dangers in this new world order. So this article is by someone named Bantam Joe, who I guess has designed computer games or video games. Geofencing is a technology that creates virtual boundaries or zones around a specific geographical area using GPS, radio frequency identification, Wi-Fi, or cellular data. It allows software to trigger a response when a mobile device enters or exits these defined zones. Here's a straightforward breakdown of how geofencing works in layman's terms. Defining the area. First, a virtual boundary is set around geographical location using mapping software. This boundary can be as small as a few feet across or as large as a city. Technology integration. The geofence is powered by GPS or other technologies like RFID, Wi-Fi, or cellular data, which can detect the location of devices. And then device detection. When a mobile device that has the appropriate software installed enters or leaves the geofenced area, the technology detects this movement based on the device's location data. Triggering actions. Upon entering or exiting the geofence, specific actions are triggered in the software. These can include sending notifications, alerts, or even adjusting settings on a device. Applications. Geofencing is used in various applications from marketing to security, smart home applications, and more. And under no oppressive government, geofencing technology could be integrated with various control and surveillance mechanisms such as social credit score, personal carbon credits, central bank digital currencies, digital IDs, and artificial intelligence to monitor, restrict, and manipulate the behavior of citizens in pervasive ways that affect personal freedom and privacy. Here's how such a system might work. So you have movement control, which could, alert authorities if someone's social credit score drops below a certain threshold or someone tries to leave specific zones. And resource allocation, linking personal carbon credits to geofencing, might restrict access to certain resources like transportation. If an individual exceeds their carbon usage quota, geofencing could prevent their vehicles from starting or entering high emission zones. And you have economic restrictions. With the integration of CBDCs, spending can be geographically restricted. For example, if the government wants to limit economic activity in a certain area or prevent the flow of money out of a region, geofencing could disable transactions when a digital wallet is used outside the approved areas. And then enforcement of laws and norms. Geofencing could be used to enforce compliance with local laws or norms set by the government. And if a person enters an area where certain behaviors are restricted, AI-powered surveillance systems could monitor for non-compliance and deduct points from social credit score, impose fines, and surveillance and tracking. Combined with digital IDs, geofencing can be used for detailed tracking of individuals' movements. AI algorithms can analyze movement patterns to predict and detect unusual behaviors, flagging individuals for investigation without any human oversight. And then social engineering and segregation. Geofencing could be employed to enforce segregation based off social credit, political beliefs, economic status, and other sorts of things. Behavior modification and control. So by offering or denying access to services, areas, or resources based on behavior. Government could condition and control behavior of the populace. And of course, businesses could be granted or denied based on social credit scores or other behavioral metrics. And then emergency lockdowns and crowd control. In situations deemed emergencies by government, geofencing could be used for immediate lockdowns of areas, which controls where people can gather and that sort of a thing. And a common example for geofencing that's used is for house arrest, as shown here. So then now going to just read some bits and pieces about quantum computing and AI here. AI models are deep layers of neural networks. A neural network is a collection of many simulated neurons, often referred to as nodes, interconnected to each other. Each connection represents a synapse. Each node receives multiple input values that together trigger the node to fire an output based on some predefined threshold value. Depending on the weight value of the inputs acting as gates, certain combinations of input values might activate or not activate the node. If you adjust all of these weight values, you can train the network to only fire for certain inputs that meet the node's activation threshold. Using an additional input for biasing can adjust the activation threshold. This is how you train neural networks. You do this repeatedly, readjusting the input weight value of all these nodes until a network is learned. You can add many layers to the neural networks. For the training of more data values, if you had thousands of nodes within thousands of layers, you can train it to learn complex input patterns. This is equivalent to adding both neurons and connections, which represent synapses. This is the essence of deep learning, and ChatGPT uses this feature, training on billions of input data patterns. So now to talk a little bit about the future of work. This is an article from Policy Horizons, which is an organization created by the Privy Council, and they are the front for the Biodigital Convergence in the Corporation of Canada. They are located in Ottawa. Ran by Crystal van der Elst, who I've covered in various videos. She is part of various organizations. She was head of strategic foresight for the World Economic Forum, and as well, I'm just blanking on the name of the organization, but she basically has international connections as well. So here it says we are living through a transition of the next digital economy in which much of our economic activity may become digitally intermediated, customized on demand, and globally distributed. As a result, the models for production and consumption of goods and services are shifting, which could affect both the amount and the nature of work. As a broad suite of technologies such as task-based platforms, telepresence, automation, AI, and blockchain mature and combine, they are poised to have a particularly disruptive impact on employment and the experience of work. This paper explores 5 key game changers for the future of work. Work moves from being long-term and time-based to temporary and task-based. Like I was saying, AI and the automation of tasks could put people out of work long before technologies replace entire jobs. AI decreases the scarcity of knowledge workers, potentially allowing jobless growth in knowledge industries, and combined digital technologies could reduce the need for human intermediaries who provide trust and security. Where people work and earn may not be where they live and spend. So, and then also basically with all of these types of things in mind, they are moving to a task-based economy, like I was saying, where things would be rewarded to you based off if you were able to find a task to actually accomplish, and rather than long-time work with long-term work with benefits, they're looking for short-term competing like task rabbits type of a thing. So I'm going to talk a little, moving into the nutraceutical aspect here. Just a little bit about this article here from Policy Horizons. There is also a blurring between what is considered natural or organic and what is digital engineered or synthetic. For example, biosynthetic vanilla is created using ferulic acid, eugenol, and glucose as substrates, and bacteria, fungi, and yeast act as microbial production hosts. Although it does not come from a vanilla plant, under both US and EU food legislation, its production from microbial transformations of natural precursors allows it to be labeled as a natural flavoring. Yeah, right. It's interesting just the loopholes that one can go through to market something as natural when it's quite the opposite. So, nutraceutical is an amalgamation of two terms, nutrition and pharmaceutical. Hybrid word produced by Stephen L. DePhillis in 1989, founder and chairman of the Foundation of Innovation Medicine. I'm going to be looking at that website actually. Nutraceuticals are food product of natural origin owing health benefits like the improvement of physiological performance and also effective various diseases. The nutraceuticals includes a variety of products derived from isolated nutrients, dietary supplements, and genetically engineered designer foods, herbal products, processed foods, and beverages. Among them, vitamin-enriched, health-promoting products, and also fresh foods like vegetables, fruits, and fermented foods populated with live cultures can be considered to be functional foods with probiotic benefits. Thus, nutraceuticals provide a proactive healthcare approach with tremendous therapeutic impacts on human body. Nutraceuticals are a leading trend in healthcare medicine in the market and connected to food science with pharmaceutical dosage forms, hosting food bioactive compounds as active principles in formulations such as pills, powders, capsules, parenterals, etc. These bioactive constituents and phytochemicals are known to sustain or promote health, if you say so. Nutraceutical industry exploited a broad class of phytochemicals described as phytoestrogens, terpenoids, limonoids, glucosinolates, phytosterols, polyphenols, carotenoids, flavonoids, isoflavonoids, and anthocyanidins with specific pharmacological effects on human health as antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-allergic, antifungal, chemopreventative, etc., etc. Mentions DNA damage, cancer, and all kinds of other things. Nutraceuticals are magic bullets, holding a promising future for public health. Although nutraceuticals are not a new product nowadays, confusion still exists between food with health claims and dietary supplements. We discussed the classification of nutraceuticals in the following section to explain the wide area of nutraceuticals. Well, okay, I'm going to be talking about how nutraceuticals are related to nanotechnology and how nanotechnology and nutraceuticals are really one and the same. Nutraceutical and food manufacturers are embracing a revolutionary new technology known as nanoscience. Nanotechnology has opened up new possibilities for the production of nanoformulations, nutritional supplements, and the food business by conferring changed features on nanoparticles due to their size and higher surface to volume ratio. Nanomaterials have a wide range of applications in the nutraceutical and food industries. This special issue will give an overview of the use of nanomaterials in the development of advanced nano-based nutraceuticals with improved bioavailability, solubility, encapsulation efficiency, consistency, prolonged, and designed to target therapeutics, safety against degradation, microbial contamination, and improved pharmacological activity. It also emphasizes the relevance of nanoparticles as nanosensors, nanobiosensing in encapsulating relevance of nanoparticle encapsulating peptides, antibodies, enzymes, and other biomolecules, as well as their prospective applications in the packaged food business. As a consequence, the evaluation will concentrate on the advantages and new dimensions that nanomaterials and nanotechnology give in the health sector, such as improved effective treatments and quality of life, if you say so. And of course, topics covered revolve around nano emulsions, polymeric nanoparticles, oleogels, inorganic and organic nanomaterials, carbon materials, bio-nanosensors in detecting essential nutrients, microbial variations, toxic impurities, encapsulation of phytonutrients, advantages and disadvantages of nanomaterials in functional food, nutrient delivery, and controlled release. Yeah, so all of this also sounds like it could pertain to the Internet of Bodies in and of itself too. So with that being said, with the nanobodies, with the Internet of Bodies there, it's almost like a monitoring system of our health, our body, and even our location for geofencing potentially. So PLGA, this acronym, polylactic glycolic acid, has been among the most attractive polymeric candidates used to fabricate devices for drug delivery and tissue engineering applications. PLGA is most important PLGA is biocompatible and biodegradable, exhibits a wide range of erosion times, has tunable mechanical properties, and most importantly is an FDA-approved polymer. And it doesn't really matter much because big pharma and the FDA just trade board memberships quite frequently, and there are various conflicts of interest there. So, and of course, they're used for controlled delivery of small molecule drugs, proteins, macromolecules in commercial use and in research. So then, of course, advances in nano fabrication for nutraceuticals, bioactive components such as polyphenolics, flavonoids, bioactive peptides, pigments, and essential fatty acids were known to ward off some deadly diseases. Nutraceuticals are those beneficial compounds that may be food or part of food that has come up with medical or health benefits. Nano-encapsulation and nano-fabricated delivery systems are an imminent approach in the field of food sciences. The sustainable fabrication of nutraceuticals and biocompatible active components indisputably enhances the food grade and promotes good health. Yeah, whatever. Nano-fabricated delivery systems include carbohydrates-based lipids, solid and liquid. Lipids are basically fats. And proteins-based delivery systems. Solid nano-delivery systems include lipid nanoparticles. Liquid nano-delivery systems include nanoliposomes and nanomulsions. Physicochemical properties of nanoparticles such as size, charge, hydrophobicity, and targeting molecules affect the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of nanodelivery systems. Advanced research and toxicity studies is necessary to ensure the safety of nano-fabricated delivery systems, as the safety of nanodelivery systems for use in food applications is unknown. Therefore, improved nanotechnology could play a pivotal role in developing functional foods, a contemporary concept assuring the consumers to provide programmed, high-priced, and high-quality research toward nano-fabricated delivery systems. And of course, here we have one of the freedom doctors, if you will, which is Dr. Mark Trazi, who is one of the people that attended that conference. He is marketing nattokinase, however you pronounce it, as something to reduce blood clotting and digest this in particular. I have to be careful what words I use because I want to leave this video on YouTube. So it's a natural supplement that both digests spike protein and reduces blood clotting. And it's an enzyme extracted and purified from traditional Japanese food called natto. Natto is made by fermenting soybeans, specifically using Bacterium Bacillus natto. And of course, it mentions here that it can be purchased, Nanotechnology can be purchased as an individual supplement as well as in combination with other nutraceuticals. So basically, yeah, this is a Nanotechnology is a nutraceutical, and from my understanding, CRISPR is also used with it at times too. So it's a soybean product fermented by natobacteria. It's rich in a variety of amino acids, vitamins, proteins, and active enzymes. It has a number of biological activities such as thrombolysis, prevention of osteoporosis, antibacterial, anti-cancer, antioxidant, and so on, used in medicine, healthcare, food. And it's rich in pharmacological active substances and has significant medicinal research value. So this guy, Mark Trozzi in particular, is part of this EBMC squared, which is a non-profit, if you will. And these are some of the organizations which they support. But Tess Lowry, Mike Austin, who's arranged visits with the Dalai Lama, and this Christoph Ploth and Dr. Mark Trozzi are all part of the steering committee of the World Council for Health, which was founded in 2021, and it is an EBMC squared CIC nonprofit initiative. And of course, it's guided by its International Coalition Partners Steering Committee, which they're members of, volunteers, and support staff. And this organization has various connections to a lot of the freedom movement. And of course, they take crypto donations with QR codes included. So I just want to conclude just that little bit about nutraceuticals is that the problem reaction solution scenario is put out there with the so-called freedom doctors, and they market detoxing from particular inoculations, to say the least, that have to do with modifying genetics. I, again, have to be careful what words I use to leave this on YouTube. And all in all, it's just fear-based nonsense is what it is. And the freedom doctors, I just haven't spoken about in a lot of videos, but they play just as much of a role in the biodigital convergence through the nanotechnologies used in nutraceuticals as much as those that are promoting the blockchain and crypto and those various aspects. And while they combat some certain things at face value, like disregarding climate change and this sort of a thing, they don't talk about the graphene nanosensors that are used in order to twin the environment, because ultimately the smart infrastructure is what will be put in place to create a metaverse type of environment where the lines between what is biological and digital are blurred, as we could even see through the Transhuman Crypto Cloud Mind article that I had read a little bit from. So all in all, we have to form ethics committees to get the smart infrastructure removed, and we have to make the best choices we can for our health as well, and to stay informed and understand what it is we are putting into our bodies. So I'm going to give my thanks to James Scott for large portions of the research that he has actually done that I have borrowed, so to speak. So thank you for your assistance in this, James Scott, and thanks everybody for watching. And please take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching.